feeling like I'm on one. Come on, give him the praise though. Let the oil drip down over me. What you say? Let the oil drip down over me. Come on. I'm feeling like I'm on one. I'm feeling like I'm on one. Sing it with me. Let the oil drip down over me. Be a lamp unto my feet. Hey, I'm feeling like I'm on one. Hey, I'm feeling like I'm on one. Hey, let that oil drip down over me. I don't know the rest of that part, but it's a song that my brother, one of the ox sang. One of the ox sang. But all praise to the Father, are higher in the name of Yeshua. I said I was gonna come back. Ooh, and so we're back. But in the meantime, let the oil drip down over me. I'm going to keep saying it for a little bit, so bear with me. Let the oil drip down over me. Hey, I'm feeling, let me get my head covering on. Hey, I'm feeling like I'm on one. Hey, I'm feeling like I'm on one. Hey, now let the oil drip down over me. Be a lamp unto my feet. We're going to be in 1 Samuel 4. That's what I was saying. 1 Samuel 4. Hey, I'm feeling like I'm on one. I'm feeling like I'm on one. Be a lamp unto my feet. All right. You don't know nothing else, I'm gonna need you to be quiet. Family, if I could get me a find my head covering. Once I find my head covering, we're gonna go ahead and give him the glory. We're going to go ahead and give him the praise. All right. I'm sure I got a head covering over here somewhere. I'm just trying to get my bearings because I'm in transition like a pilgrim. Come on, if you know, you know. I'm in transition like a pilgrim. And I don't be caring about the outward appearance. All I care about is let there be let the oil drip down over me. You hear me? That's what I need. I need the oil to drip down over me. Give him the glory. Head covering. When you ain't got a head covering, you got to be creative. Okay? You got to hold up, because I know where one's at. Hey, I'm coming to get a head cover. Oh, hallelujah. Come on. There you go. Told you. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. All right, family. Now let us begin. Blessed be high, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy, true, set apart name. And Yeshua, the true and living word, I shall be confident. And Yeshua, the true and living word, the Father shall be glorified. And in the meantime, let that oil drip down over me. Hey, let that oil drip down over me. Hey, let that oil drip down over me. Hey, let that oil drip down over me. I had a dream. I was showing people a new dance. Praise his holy name. I had a dream that I was showing people a new dance. Got little pieces of hair on me. Little pieces of hair. Agitating. Hallelujah. Let the oil drip down over me. Come on. Let the oil drip down over me. I'm feeling like I'm on one. I'm feeling like I'm on, looking like Marge from The Simpsons, okay? I don't really give a John Brown about the appearance. You understand me? It ain't even about that. It's about what is coming out the mouth, okay? Can you hear what the prophetess can say today? Will you hear it? What thine? Let me stop. No, let's have fun. Can you hear what thine has to say? Hey, when the enemy thought he could bring you down, you gotta say, let me turn this bass heating down. Because I'm trying to figure this thing out. And this one's on an awkward angle. I can barely see. Or I'm going to just put the fan on. Oops. All right. Oh, praise. We're going to be in 1 Samuel 4. It seemed familiar, but I'm going to get my memory refreshed once I... Hold on. We finna shut the curtain because ain't nobody finna be looking at your girl. We don't touch and agree on that. No, we going to go ahead and shut the curtain because we believe in privacy. Hey. Come on. Come on. When we touching and agreeing. Okay, I got my Aramaic Pashida. And I got my KJV. Now my Aramaic Pashida, this one I have, doesn't have the Torah in there in the Tanakh, well, being the prophets. So this is why I keep my KJV for backup, okay, family? But I'm excited to be in a comfortable setting that I can break bread with you all. It doesn't matter if I'm on my car, if I'm in the market, hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, okay? We're gonna go ahead and break this bread. Got me some little snacks in case I want to have a little treat. Okay. Now, 1 Samuel 4. Father, we thank you for the daily bread that you have given us. We thank you for being with us, leading and guiding and directing us into your truth in these hours in this earth when the love of many is waxing cold, family. So we're gonna go ahead in 1 Samuel 4. I just came upstairs after eating. I was like, it's a song that was like, let your oil drip down over me. Let your oil drip. I think it's about Hezekiah. He be like, I'm feeling like he got, is it Hezekiah or is it Naviel with Samar? And the one will be like, got me feeling like I'm on one. Something on one. He say, let the oil drip down over. He gonna dance. Wait. So I can move. Let the oil drip down over me. Come on. Let the oil drip down over me. Hey, let the oil drip down over me. Let your oil drip down over me. Yeah, family, I'm in the good spirits. I am. Because I understand the hatred of the world. Because the love of the Most High is better than life. I have understanding. I'm not offended. I have understanding. See, that's when you get there, that's deliverance. Come on. Say, the children, I did a lesson yesterday. And I want to break that brick with y'all too. But see, it don't apply to everybody. It applies to those who were diligent in the harvesting season. No, in the sowing season. When harvest comes, you can't have an expectancy if you did not sow. If you didn't do the work of reaping, you don't have a harvest. Well, you know what? It depends, because whether good or bad, everybody gonna have a harvest. All right. So let's go to 1 Samuel 4. Let your oil drip down over me. That's gonna be in my head all night, y'all, because the oil is dripping, moving the ark of Ahijah. Okay. Being here before, now it's coming to me. But before I go there, because that could have been personal. Let me ask, is it personal or is it for the live? You want to come in here, Gail? Zeba, Gail want to come in here. That one's for the personal. We're going to do, yeah, we're going to do Deuteronomy 15. I don't know why I put that over there. Because the Pashida doesn't have the, Torah. I wish this, not wish. I would have loved that Aramaic Pashida would have had my Old and New Testament. All right, so we're gonna do we're gonna be in Deuteronomy 15, cause Samuel 4, the moving of the Ark of the Most High, is personal, and I understand what that is. Oh, but you better talk about that. Let me go ahead and put my bookmark there. Oh, look, I opened up. Did I open up Deuteronomy? Oh. Let's go to Deuteronomy 15. I got something beautiful for y'all, family. Abba blessed me with Deuteronomy 15 and the children yesterday. Zeba, let the girl in the room. I ain't getting up. That girl. Teenager. Zeba. I know she hear me. Ain't no way. Make me take that phone. I'm telling you. You made me get up and I told you. Where's she at? Oh, she downstairs. Okay. She must have walked Gail up. All right, thank you, Zebby. No wonder. I know she wouldn't do nothing like that. She's a good kid. Let me put my robe on because it is getting a little chilly. Well, at least it's balancing out. It's balancing out. I got a little chair. I can sit here at the chair. Praise Abba. Okay, family. I'm gonna move my father-in-law's. This is his office study room that I'm able to stay in right now. We officially are walking by faith and not by sight. Come on. I ain't trying to rearrange nobody's life. I ain't trying to be messy. I'm just trying to be a blessing. Come on. Okay, I'm just trying to be a blessing. Okay. So that we can break this bread, family. It don't matter what's going on in our life. When the Father say bring a word, oh, his servant's gonna bring that word. Oh, that's what we gonna do. Okay? I don't give a John Brown. What's going on? About nobody's eclipse, a cat and a dog. He said, do not be dismayed at the signs of the skies. Did you break somebody's charger? I heard something snap. Well, come on and lift him. The Father will restore. Come on. All right, that was the chair. All right, family. So we're going to be in Deuteronomy 15. All right. And we're going to be talking about three things, which is blessings, inheritance, and possession. All right. Like I said, this word don't apply to everybody. Because if you were not laboring with the Most High, don't expect a Jubilee of harvest. Do not expect. If your wages was sin and your debt, it's not going to be a harvest. It's not going to bring a harvest of, abundance. It's going to be hardship. It's going to be turmoil. All right? Now, Deuteronomy 15, let's begin. At the end of every 7 years, you shall grant a release of debts. And this is the form of the release. Every creditor who has lent anything to his neighbor shall release it. He shall not require it of his neighbor or his brother. Require in this sense, the Father is saying, is it's like with the heart thing. Whenever we read the scriptures of the Most High, we got to be able to find when he's dealing with a rebuke to the heart and a rebuke in action. He'll say, don't do this and don't do it in your heart. Requiring it was like, all right, I'm going to release it, but, like, gains. Oh my goodness, fam. Let me tell you something. I don't know why this man is calling me tonight, and I don't give a John Brown. I'm going to continue to do with my father. That's the gentleman of the veterans that helps out with they just gave us some donations. So let me just go ahead. Just give me a second, family. I'm gonna go. I would love to put my phone in do not disturb when I'm live. I don't know if I can do that, but I'm gonna try before I do a practice run next time, because we cannot be disturbed. We cannot be hindered. We're gonna keep moving. And I'm gonna get Zebediah's phone and let Mr. Kenny know, hey buddy, I'm teaching right now. And I don't play by interrupting me when I'm teaching. Bear with me. I will be right back. Because I'm a soldier. Army of Most High. Soldier in the army. Where's your phone, baby? Let me see your phone. See, Bo? I need to talk to Kenny because he's walking at Daddy's frame. Come on, look out for that. If he goes some other spirit, I ain't in the mood. Because I ain't in the mood. Hold on, family. I don't know. Hey, hello. I'm actually in a teaching right now on my phone. That's okay. Oh, beloved, yes, we did. Thank you, beloved. I'm sorry. I should have called. Yes, we made it safe. And that card made me want to cry because I know that the lily is the Father's favorite flower. And I had a lovely little lily solar light I put in the front of my yard. And I put that lovely lily car you gave me in front of the vehicle. I'm going to ride with that car. Thank you very much. In the windshield. Yeah, with the flag. Oh, no, beloved. All kinds of soot and dirt and everything will get on there. But thank you. You have a lovely, blessed night. Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye. All right, babies. I see when I get to teach, I feel like I'm telling to the kids because that's what I'm made. Majority of my life is to teach the children. Right? Okay, family. Here we are again. Let's begin. So we're going to talk about 3 things. We were just talking about blessing. I'm excited. We will be talking about blessings, inheritance, and possession. Now, the reason I also have them in this order, and I want to break this down, is because somebody can bless you with something, but if you have an inheritance of if your blessings are inheritance of your possession, it's things that is owed to you, things that are going to chase you down and pursue you. People are out of line with the Father, trying to chase a blessing that they're not entitled to. They're not receiving what they're entitled to, which is inheritance, and they are not able to possess it. So the enemy begins to be able to take and seize, just like the state will seize possessions that are not claimed. This is what the enemy does, because he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So let's get into Deuteronomy 15. So he says, at the end of every 7 years. Take heed to that. You shall grant a release of debts. How many 7 years has Babylon seen and not honored this? You don't honor the word, you're what? Cursed. We can read in Deuteronomy 28 about the curses that fall on us, but what about the curses that fall on the creation of man for the disobedience of the Most High's word? The Father did not just require the children of Jacob to obey and hear. He required all man to hear and obey. All right? So it says, and you shall not require it of the neighbor, okay? Of your neighbor or his brother, because it is called the Most High's release. Of a foreigner you may require it, but you shall give up your claim to what is owed by your brother, except when there may be no poor among you, for the Most High will greatly bless you in the land which your husbandman is giving you. And I say husbandman because it's got LORD, GOD, and he always came and said, I'm the husbandman. All right. Is given you to possess as an inheritance. Boom. So when you see he talk about land to give as inheritance, that's reminding you of the promise. He gave his word that he was going to give Abraham. He said, I'm going to bless you with a seed, and I'm going to give your seed, I'm going to also give you land as an inheritance to possess. These things together is important. You don't just want a blessing. You want the inheritance. You want to possess the blessing and the inheritance. All right? Only if you carefully, obey or diligently, right? Obey the voice of I am that I am, your husbandman, to observe with care all these commandments which I command you today. For the husbandman, your keeper, will bless you just as he promised. There it goes. The word. He promised. We just said over here in verse 4, inheritance, when he mentioned this, is a reminding of his word. Okay? Just as he promised, you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. You shall reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over you. Now, if you look at the opposite of that, that shows you we're not obeying his voice. If you're disobeying his voice, you fall in the disposition of a borrower, heathens ruling over you, other nations ruling over you, not just nation, but nations ruling over you. Notice we're supposed to rule the nations. When we fall, they rule us. But when we're in order, one nation rules the nations. And they're ruling the nations in what? Righteousness. It has nothing to do with our inventions, our creativity, our melanin, our genetic, our DNA, our geniuses. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the Father saying, I need someone in the earth to rule with my word. That's what I want. I don't give a John Brown if it's a butterfly, cat, or a dog. For I am that I am, your husbandman, will bless you just as he promised you. You shall lend to many nations. What is that called? A banker. Who owns the banks now? The ones I was talking to you about earlier, the synagogue of Satan. So if the synagogue of Satan is in position, that means they're aware of what the children of Jacob has to do to rule. Are they going to assist you in doing that? Absolutely not. They don't want to. Check this out. If there is among you a poor man of your brethren within any of the gates in your land, which I am that I am your husbandman is giving you, you shall not harden your heart nor shut your hand from your poor brother. But you shall open your hand wide to him and willingly lend him sufficient for his need, whatever he needs. Beware, lest there be a wicked thought in your heart, saying, the 7th year, the year of release is at hand, and your eye be evil against your poor brother, and you give him nothing. Yes, downstairs. And he cry out to the Most High against you, and it becomes sin among you. You shall surely give to him, and your heart should not be grieved when you give to him, because for this thing, I am that I am your husbandman will bless you in all your works. Look. Blessings come by what? Giving. What kind of giving? Giving with an ungrudging heart. It is a joy to be able to be a blessing. Like I said before, I ain't trying to be messy. I'm just trying to be a blessing. Right? Check it out. He said he will bless you in all your works and in all to which you put your hand. That means goodness is coming from the works of your hands. It's sanctified. It's blessed. Your hands have the law of the Most High commanded a blessing of increase. For the poor will never cease from the land. Therefore, I command you, saying, you shall open your hand wide to your brother, to your poor and your needy in your land. Let me tell you something. We're gonna make an address on something real quick. All right. There's a people out here amongst us, a poor, who, if the poorness begins in the mind first, that means they make poor financial decisions. They make poor leisure decisions. They're poor management with their time. And because of that, the result of their poverty is the fruits of their labor. And the Father doesn't call us to bail the lazy, the stiff, rebellious heart, or the sinful sinners out. We're not bailing you out. If he tells you in Deuteronomy 15, only in verse 5, only if you carefully obey his voice. That means before he sends the harvest, if you have gone through a year, a season of hearing his voice and you wasn't listening and you hardened your heart, or you listened but you tried to listen with just enough so that you can shut up, and then I'm going to just really in my heart, I'm really not listening to you, or I'm going to try to distract you, or I'm going to try to interfere, or I'm going to try to play it on. If you were not trying to listen, to obtain, to apply, then the Father knows how to deal with you accordingly. Don't be stunned when you're cut or when you don't receive what you were expecting to receive. The grace always goes before the judgment. And that's why he's merciful. That's why he's just. This is what David said in Psalm 51. So he says, if you obey his voice. Let me give you an example. I was dealing with oppression recently from my landlord. And I went in prayer. And the Father gave me a word. Not, mind you, the day before that word in prayer, I had done something that I felt was going to secure me for the month. I'm going to worry about nothing. I can just handle this because I have a lot on me. Okay? But a good woman and man's steps are ordered by the Father, correct? So, what happened? Boom. The very next day, got his portion. Still not hearing my request. Me being a servant of the Most High, in the house of the Most High, that I sanctified unto him in my priestly duties, and my home is a home and a temple where I teach and abide in righteousness. So if there's something off in my home, as even scriptures in the Bible talk us about how the Father would instruct and require that his temple be not neglected and abandoned and taken care of. And these requests were not being taken serious. So, and then I went to my father. He said, I'm going to need for you to do X, Y, and Z. And that meant to undo what I did. Take back what you gave. Because there are some that are not worthy of what you have given them. You see, like the scripture we talked about before in Ephesians or Ecclesiastes. There's a time and a season for everything under the sun. It's a time to hold your peace, and there's a time to speak. And the time of me holding my peace, at the Holy Spirit being vexed, and the things I asked for to be overlooked, and me not being taken as priority, has come to an end. And even if I am uncomfortable in my transition, obedience is better than sacrifice. And as long as I know my Father is pleased and he's with me, doesn't matter what I got to face. I know he's going to get me through it. And guess what? The enemy did not expect for the outcome to go the way it did. It thought it was going to squeeze me till I was going to yield. But I was not made to be a massive boss type of female. I serve a high. I'm not a people's prophet. I'm not a people's servant. I serve people in the love of my Father, but I'm not going to make sure you're more content and happy than the peace of my Father. No. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So when we read about, don't be hard in your heart towards the poor among you, and we're talking about the year of Jubilee, before he got to the don't harden your heart, he talked about only if you carefully obey the voice of the Most High. So that doesn't apply to just those who in the land got wealth, and the poor, you're allowed to just, because you're poor, you don't have to listen. No, the poor is instructed as well. Remember, there were people who were, poor doesn't just simply also mean you don't have tangible things. You can be poorly minded, poorly mentally, without wisdom. You can be poorly minded, or you can be poorly in your endeavors. This is a vast way we can put this. He told the man, do you want to be whole? Now pick up your bed and walk. Stop waiting for someone to put you in the pool so that you could be whole. He's saying an angel came down and troubled the water, and then the people who got in there first could get healed. This is excuses. Do you know you'll never possibly see your deliverance if you're waiting for an angel to come down? He's showing us in the scriptures how some people's ridiculous mindsets come to their expectation of their deliverance. And in turn, they're never possibly going to see it. Because they're not being realistic. The Father does, okay, then be mindful, unbalance. Be mindful of, okay, so I was overwhelming myself in work, or I was overwhelming myself in social life, and I was overwhelming this, and I wasn't doing that. So I'll do this. He requires this and that. Obedience with sacrifice. That means when you obey him, you got to sacrifice something. And most likely it's yourself, your desires, okay? Maybe even needs. Faith with works. The moment I let him know, hey, this enemy thought what she's going through, there's no way she's gonna be able to pull this out. Don't sleep on the Most High's chosen, and those he has his hand on. Don't do it. When I call and say, hey, good evening, Mr. So-and-so, house is cleared. We were quiet. The minute that you realized I wasn't going to let you play me and my children anymore and take advantage of me, the minute I said to my Father before any abundance came out, I said, Father, take the heart from me that is going to, the compassion that is make me balance in compassion and empathy, so that I am not blessing and I'm not being taken. I'm not letting my empathy be my enemy. I'm not kicking myself in the foot or kicking myself, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not hindering my own self being too generous. Because sometimes blessing the wrong people, you get in the Father's way. Some people he requires, they're going to have to fall on their face because they're not hearing him. It all comes to the voice. Only if you obey his voice carefully. In other words, if the Father said, I need you to pack up and flee, we do that. We don't get to say, okay, it's getting hard. Darn, I'm going to miss the convenience of this, so let me just see if I can work a deal. Or darn, let me just, no. Because the Father showed us in the story of Exodus with Pharaoh, that, and in the scriptures, that he has the power of the heart of man in his hand. If man is being stiff towards you, if man will not hear you, if man will not yield, obey, it's because the Father is trying to show you, this is up, this is done. This is no more. Step out, move, my child, so I can judge, so that their reward can be given unto them. I heard your cries. I heard you. I seen your suffering. I saw your diligence and your obedience. And when they thought you were forsaken, I was right there with you in the fire, like I was with my three faithful ones. I was the fourth man in the fire. He's showing us through his word. He's not a way-weather person. He won't switch up on you when it gets hard. And just because some act like they're with you when they're hard, if they're with you when it's hard, they're not supposed to drag you down emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially. They're not supposed to do that. That doesn't even make any sense. When the enemy wants to curse you, he's going to send somebody. When the Father wants to bless you, he's going to send somebody. All you got to do is look at the fruit. It ain't about what they talking about. It's about the fruit. See, two cannot walk together unless we agree. If I say I want to obey my Father and stand according to his scriptures, and somebody is like, let me just go along to get along, or if people around you are not in the same mind, they're going to be a grief to you. And they become the Father's problem. He says, for the poor will never cease from the land. So there's always going to be poor people. Like he told you. Like he told the one Judas, when the sister Mary was washing his feet with the precious ointment in service of worship, recognizing the king unto his burial. And here come this fool talking about why you ain't sell that oil. That type of mindset of people like, you did what with your money? You doing what with your time? You rather study the scriptures and read the Most High Word and be a light than to have fun and watch this movie or kick back or do this and the third. You absolutely right. Because the kingdom is at hand, and there is a passion and a zeal that is placed into those who he's designed to get his work done. We don't got time for leisure. No relaxing. It's time to cash in. Stop your laughing. Ain't nothing funny out here, bros and sisters. He said to him, the poor you will always have with you. But see, she now understands what the importance of my burial is. How precious are the feet of him who's anointed, who bring the good gospel. That's what she understood. She said, these feet ain't no average. What can I do? What can I give to show my, like it says, the Father so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. He gave of himself. He said, of myself, I'm going to begot me a child to sacrifice. To show the people that what you give of yourself, that's what the Father wants. Give me of you. You got children? Lead their life in righteousness. You got an animal? Do right with your animal. You have a wife or a husband? Become one in righteousness. You got grands? You got a business? You got ideas? Glorify the Father with them. And see if he don't multiply that. The Father is a master of re-upping and flips. For if your brother, they put a Hebrew in here, which is a descendant of Jacob, man, or a descending woman of Jacob, is sold to you and serves you 6 years, then in the 7th year you shall let him go free from you. And when you send him away free from you, you shall not let him go away empty-handed. You shall supply him liberally from your flock, from your threshing floor, from your winepress, from what the Most High your Father has blessed you with. You shall give him. You shall remember. It's as if he has served you. There's also Torah laws about servants obeying the masters. Let me give an example. What would happen to a servant who's under the house of a priestess or a priest? And it's rather than serve, well, they served 35%, but 75% brought turmoil and grief and disturbed the peace of the Holy Spirit within. My goodness. What would happen to that servant? They're going to be thrust out. See, there are some individuals that hear this scripture and read these words and be like, see there, you're supposed to give to all the poor. Because let me tell you something, this past so-called, what they call Easter, y'all, I'm going to the part in my ministry that I walk with the Father, where the Mashiach was found in the temple, asking questions. But before I got to the temple, whorehouse, I'm having conversations with the head. And I'm praying on the behalf of them. And the Father is turning things around. To the point where it ain't no typical message on Easter. We read not the prophets. And we're talking about the dry bones. And talking about living again. And talking about the Mashiach. Family. And we're not and denied pork. See, how else will they learn unless they have a teacher? I was a time when I said I'll never go to church again. Alma said, it's time to arrest. I got some bodies up in there I need you to go get, daughter. If they won't hear you over here, If they want to be busy, they don't want to hear you over here, come over here. We're not casting our pearls to swine no more. We're not doing that. Don't be out of season, which is that flower or that seed that branched up so quickly, but when the sun came, it was quenched, it was shriveled up. Don't be that. No. Yes. Yes, beloved.
Were they able to know if you could do a hair Sunday?
Sunday? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I'm grateful and excited. I'm going to be filming the work of the Most High. I had blew the shofar at this church. And I felt the fire of the Most High. There were people, there was an individual Jewish man in there. I think 2 of them. That I believe that the feds are those who are sent. See, the enemy has his spies, and the Most High got his too. It is what it is. But they were looking at me in a ponder like, who is this woman? Where does she come from? Right now at my old address, there's a U-Haul sitting there with Harriet Tubman on the side of it. Y'all remember the word the Most High told me, right? Yeah, we're going to get him. That's right. Anyone that the enemy has that belongs to the Father, they're coming out. They're coming out. This Jubilee release is not just about money. It's about souls. That's what's precious to the Father. That is what's valuable to the Father. Your precious soul. Because when you leave here, none of this filth can come with you. And your soul, your financial increase or decrease will not matter in the life of the next. It will not matter. Your works, that's what's going to matter. Your deeds. So mind you, there's so much I got to tell y'all and catch y'all up with, family. So boom. They called me to be the reader. For some reason, we got people in the building who simply just can't read the word resurrection. I don't understand what's going on, but I'm going to keep my mouth and pray for them on that. It's letting me know we need to sit down a little longer. We should not be playing instruments if we don't understand scripture, simple things. If we're not walking in uprightness. So we were reading Isaiah 53. I'm going to take y'all real quick. The Father is so brilliant with this apostle, my father-in-law. He getting ready to shift the whole gears with everybody. The Most I got him and I teaming up on some things, and my mother can't even stop it. It's unfortunate, but she wants to stop it. He said, we want to read Isaiah 53. Had me read the whole thing. It says, who has believed our report? Do you understand this question here? Whoever's going to believe in the true report, that's who we're talking to. You don't believe it? Bye. And the belief is not just, I'm agreeing. Oh, yes, I heard, I know that. No, it's, I'm in obedience with it. I'm in alignment with. This is how the Father knows what you believe or not. What your actions telling him. Stop all that other stuff. Because when we check up on the scene and we know where you're supposed to be and you're not there, you didn't do A right. You over here at D, E, F, EFG, but you didn't start with ABC. How you get the D, E, F, G and you didn't start ABC? Bring your little happy little self right back here, baby. It's all right. Come back over here. Who will have believed our purport? And to whom has the arm That's why he said he's going to break the arm of the wicked, which is the strength and the might. Who can see? Who's going to, and to whom is the arm of the Most High and his strength and his might revealed? It's not revealed to everybody. That's why I was telling the children to roll. This is why we have the synagogue of Satan putting up little funny little ads, vexing the righteous, talking about, well, why is the serpent crawling on his, why is its punishment crawling on his belly? And here's the funny part, it talks. This is why we have this kind of stuff, because the arm of the Most High is not revealed to you. So you don't understand why the Father's doing what he's talking about in the scriptures. Close the book. It don't belong to you. It's a sword, might I remind you. So fools playing with poison will kill themselves, or toxic chemicals. If you're messing with toxic chemicals and you're unlearned, you can harm yourself and harm others. Playing with the scriptures with an unclean heart and not being filled with the Holy Spirit can destroy you. It's going to be your own snare. You hang in your own self. This is the reality. He said, for he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, as a root out of the dry ground. He has no form of comeliness. So this Caucasian image is all the way comely, because in their mind, that's beautiful to them. So it's saying this is not the report and the arm of the Most High. This is what I'm getting from it. What about you? Because the report didn't come with expressing an image. When the gospel gave the... Hold up, this mirror to the phone. When the true gospel came with simply truth and life and power, authority, dominion. This is what it walks in. It doesn't walk in fear. It doesn't walk in dizziness or confusion. It doesn't walk in deception. It doesn't walk in anger and malice and guile. Now, they had a dinner. A little dinner. And someone was asked to bring something, but this woman didn't have much to give. She was poor. She was taken by my father-in-law to go to the food place. When my mother expressed in a very rash way, you got to have something to give. And I know how it feels to be on the other side of that spectrum. When you don't have nothing and people want to expect of you. And you got to come up and make something happen out of nowhere, just so that you're not dealing with shame upon shame. And when she made what she made, she probably made it out of, you could tell the energy she received, she put in that pot. And it tastes disgusting. It was a reflection of what someone made her feel. And that's sad. So when my mother departed, she says to my father-in-law, hey, she asked me to bring something. Nobody liked it. Nobody wanted to eat it. And I looked at it and I said, excuse me, hear me. Did you provide something? Yes, I did. Okay, well then don't speak evil of your well-doing. Whether people receive it or not, you did well, did you not? Okay. From where do you seek your reward? From man or the Most High? She said, thank you, honey. Thank you. May I have a hug? I said, sure, you can have a hug. But what we're not going to do is sit here and burden my father-in-law while he's trying to clean up. Because when people do the service of the Most High, there's just a certain respect that a lot of people don't give. They don't get that you don't operate against people who are in the service of the Most High. Because the world don't understand the importance and the gratitude, or the magnitude, shall I say, of those who serve the Most High. And she asked me, what do you do? I said, I work for the Most High. Like, what do you do for a living? I said, I work for the Most High. I'm something like a detective. And I'm up in this building and I'm up in here. Oh, I'm taking notes. I'm not here to entertain and shuck and jive, though. See, when we blow this is judgment. This means war. This means a change. This means a shift in the building. So I know you're not familiar with this, but I was brought to this area, to this city for such a time. Then we go outside. You see, it's so much. I ain't going to get off task. But the point of the matter is this, family. The Father is so gracious. In my season of Jubilee, not only is things that was owed to me is being released, but things I held myself back from, I'm having full opportunity to regain. Like I told my kindergarten teacher as a child, when he asked you what you want to be when you grow up, I told, I'm not putting nothing on this paper. I don't know what the Father above has for me. That could have been my own mindset. It wasn't Christianity that did that for me, beloveds. I was too young to take Christianity serious. What am I saying to you? There are some of us on this planet that we're only designed to do the will of the Father. And that's the only thing that brings us joy. When we see our Father winning through us. Verse 14. This heat is too much. My goodness. Oh no, Abba. Hold on, family. I don't know if it's the fire from the base heat or if it's the fire from within. Okay. Fire shut up in my bones. Okay. So he says in verse 14, you shall supply him liberally from your flock, from your threshing floor, and from your winepress. From what I am that I am, your husbandman has blessed you with, you shall give him. You shall remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt, and the husbandman, your keeper, redeemed you. Therefore I command you this thing today. It's a commandment to acknowledge the release of Jubilee every 7 years. It's not a request. And if it happens that he says to you, I will not go away from you, because he loves you and your house, since he prospers with you, then you shall take an awl and thrust it through his ear to the door, and he shall be your servant forever. Also to your female servant you shall do likewise, and it shall not seem hard to you when you send them away, free from you. In other words, don't make it like, I don't want you to go and hard, so you're going to like, you could have gave him this, but you only gave him that, or your mindset and giving is not upright. We dealt with that earlier. Don't require it. Okay. It shall not seem hard when you send him away free from you, for he has been worth a double hired servant in serving you 6 years. Then the Most High, your husbandman, will bless you in all that you do. All the firstborn males that come from your herd and your flock shall you sanctify to the Most High I am. You shall do no work with the firstborn of your herd. What did he say? The firstborn don't do no work of your herd. That's flesh. The firstborn is sanctified to the Father. Now, in some instance, you have Joseph, David, Moses. They were not firstborns, but the Father sanctified them unto him. Exceptions. Okay. You and your household shall eat it before the Most High. So when he asks for something for you, it's not to just say, now give it unto me, because he's a spirit. He don't need your money. He don't need your food. He don't need your wine. He don't need your grain seed.
You know, I had a lot of fun.
Oh, that's good. I'm still alive.
Oh.
Thanks, because you weren't able to save it for me. That's good. I'm glad you had fun. All right. He says, he said, you and your household shall eat it before the Most High, the firstborn of your flock, year by year. So the sanctified to the Most High, that means it's a sacrifice. Okay? So that means as soon as it's born, it's set aside for the sacrifice. Even if it's going to take 3 years from its born, 5 years or whatever, it's sanctified for the sacrifice of Jubilee. That's what he's saying. All right? And you and your household shall eat it before the Most High, year by year in the place which the Most High chooses. Okay, it's year by year. But if there is this defect in it, if it's lame or blind or has any serious defect, you shall not sacrifice it to the Most High. He don't want no Cain sacrifice. He want an Abel sacrifice. All right? You may eat it within your gates. The unclean and the clean person alike may eat it, as if it were a gazelle or a deer. Only you shall not eat its blood. You shall pour it upon the ground like water. There it goes. All right? So, okay. So, family, in the year of Jubilee, its requirements and laws towards how we treat the less fortunate amongst us. From the heart. If someone's not able to get something, you don't make them feel less than who they are. You share with them. Remember in the Passover, he said, you get a lamb. And if somebody besides you couldn't afford to get a lamb, you share the lamb with them. Couldn't get this sacrifice, you get a turtle dove. You get this. There was always, if the Father could work with you, we got to be able to work with each other. That's where I'm at with it. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end this live, family, because my little ones just got in. I need to get, have a nightcap with them before their bedtime and things of that such. But family, I appreciate you all tuning in. I pray that this word brings forth understanding about blessings, inheritance, and possession. The blessings come from obedience. The inheritance is what's already His promise, what belongs to you. And possession is that you maintain your blessings and your inheritance. You want to take possession of your inheritance and blessings so that the thief cannot come and steal it. All right, the devourer. All right. Peace, blessings, and love, family. I pray that you all have a lovely night. Shalom. Have good nights.